Our next presenter is Robin Tenner. Robin is a veteran storyteller. This is the 7th story that she has written and presented here for SPARK. Robin has become a student of the storytelling genre and serves as assistant coach as well as a storyteller. Fun fact about Robin, Robin has collected over 200 novelty salt and pepper shakers and belongs to the Novelty Salt and Pepper Shakers Club of America. She says finding just the right word is the biggest challenge of storytelling. Robin's story is My Favorite Bird Watcher. Robin Tenner.
Take these broken wings, learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive.
On a sunny afternoon in the spring of 2012, a 10-year-old boy named Sam directed me to the best restaurant in town. And so, he and I were having lunch at Taco Bell. This kid was a real talker. After listing all the birds that we'd seen on the nature walk that morning, Sam launched into this long explanation of the differences between Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. He was obviously an expert on this topic, and he felt that I needed to be educated about it, at length. During the walk, Sam was so excited, he ran ahead of the group. He shouted out the names of every bird that he saw before anybody else even had a chance to raise their binoculars. This kid had eyes like an eagle, the energy of a small tornado, and a voice like a siren. The birds scattered. By the time the walk ended, Sam had filled both of his pockets with rocks, and he was handing all the extras over to me. Our fellow nature lovers were staring at us. But we had made it through the morning. And after we finished eating tacos, I would take Sam back to the home of the lady who was taking care of him. And I'd say goodbye. So when I could get a word in edgewise, I told Sam that I really had enjoyed the opportunity to work with him. We'd finished what we'd set out to do. We were done. It hadn't been easy, but he'd done a very good job, and I was really proud of him. I told Sam that I hoped that he'd stay interested in birds. I started to tell Sam that there were so many beautiful birds in the world, and I hoped that he'd see more of them someday. But Sam interrupted me. Great! So, where are we going next? I took a deep breath, and I told Sam that I'd figure something out. Now, I'd known Sam for about 6 weeks by the time we made the trip to the Nature Center. I'd finished the assessment that Children's Services had asked me to complete. I'd even testified in court about some very difficult things that Sam had chosen to disclose to me. This skinny little kid was a real survivor. Incredibly, Sam had also talked to me about birds that he'd seen when he lived in different places. I knew that each of these places had been worse than the one before it, but somehow he had noticed the birds that were around him, and he wanted to tell me all about them. Now, Sam knew that I liked birds too. My office was filled with pictures of birds that I'd seen on trips around the world. He asked me a million questions about those pictures. But my assessment was over. It was time for me to move Sam along to a clinician who could work with him long term. But I wanted to encourage his interest in birds. So I had given his foster mother some information about bird walks that were happening at a park near her home. Kids could go if an adult went along with them. But Sam's foster mother was a single parent with a house full of rambunctious kids. I knew that Sam probably wasn't going to make it to a park at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So I told his foster mom that I would take him. Just this once, as a special treat. Only now, Sam and I were sitting in Taco Bell, and I wasn't sure what I'd just gotten myself into. You see, I knew what to say and what to do when Sam was sitting across from me in my office. I wasn't so so sure if I was ready for this new challenge. But Sam seemed to have a lot of confidence in me. He was already plotting our next adventure. Sam's boundless energy proved to be a real force to be reckoned with during our Saturday excursions. When I found him up in a tree after frantically searching for him on the ground, I told Sam that I was so worried that I would lose him. He looked at me and said, "Well, I wouldn't want to lose you either." And after that, I never had to remind him to stay near when we went out somewhere. In late fall, Sam announced that he was going to be a shepherd in the Christmas play at the small Christian school he attended. He invited me to see the play, and he also told me that he needed a shepherd's staff to make his costume look more authentic. I decided it was time that Sam was introduced to my husband and his garage full of tools. After spending hours in the garage, Sam emerged carrying a beautifully crafted shepherd's staff. I told him that even though he'd spent a lot of time working on something he's only going to use once, this very fine staff would definitely be used in future Christmas productions. Sam removed the top of the staff. Underneath was a wooden spear, painted silver with golden streaks. You see, after he wrapped up the role of shepherd, Sam was moving on to become Craven the Hunter, a Marvel Comics supervillain. My husband just shrugged and grinned. Sam had found a willing accomplice with plenty of tools and lots of extra lumber. The night of the Christmas play, Sam was fidgety and unfocused on stage. He kept swiveling his head around, looking out into the audience. I stood up briefly and kind of moved my chair a bit, as if I was adjusting it, and I pointed to my husband. Sam settled down and delivered his lines. We were the faces that he was looking for, and we were there. We were also the only people that knew that the shepherd by the manger was actually holding the weapon of a comic book assassin. At the reception following the play, Sam seemed to struggle to tell one of his teachers who we were and how we were connected to him. His teacher questioned him, and none of the categories fit. We weren't family, friends of family, neighbors, or members of his church. I was tempted to jump in and help him out, but I really wanted to hear what Sam might have to say. Instead, Sam stuffed a huge cookie into his mouth. His teacher started to correct him, but then she looked at me as if she was expecting me to do that. I told her, "We just love Sam. Thank you."
Thank you, Robin. What a beautiful story.